Okay, so let's start the process of adding Paperclip for image uploading. So let's go to rubygems.org and search for Paperclip. And Paperclip is a super popular gem for easy upload management to Active Record. It's got almost 7.5 million downloads. Pretty crazy. So I'm gonna copy the latest to my clipboard, and then let's close this, go to our gem file. Well, first let's go to terminal, do git s, make sure we're on a clean directory. Good. All right, now let's add Paperclip 4.2.1 at time of this recording. Let's now go to the terminal and do a bundle install, and go and refresh or restart your Rails server. So now if we go to the documentation, click on the home page and it'll take you to the GitHub documentation. Let's go down to, first off, image processor. So ImageMagick must be installed for Paperclip to work correctly. So if you click on the ImageMagick link, you can read more about ImageMagick. So for those on a Mac, search ImageMagick installer, and the first link by the fine peeps at Cactus Lab. Go ahead and download the ImageMagick installer and run through the process of setting that up. You can go to your terminal and confirm that it is set up correctly by doing which convert, and it will print out a location to where that utility is installed. So on my system, it's /user/local/bin/convert. So once you have that installed, go down to the installation section, include the gem in your gem file. We've already done that. The next thing we need to do is add the has attached file avatar. In our case, we're going to do thumbnail, and then the styles for it, and then the validates content or validates attachment content type. So I'm just going to copy this, and we are going to go to our models and our podcast model. Let's go down. So first, let's add a thumbnail to the podcast. So let's do styles. I'm going to change this one to large. Since the images are perfectly square, we're going to do 1000 for the large by 1000, and then instead of the greater than symbol, let's do the hash rocket, or not hash rocket, let's do the hash symbol, and this will crop it at exactly 1000 by 1000. Then we'll also do a medium at 550 by 550, and we will do that as a hash as well. Then we're gonna not have a default URL on this. All right, so that's good for now. The next thing we need to do is go under, we need to add a migration. So you can either do it manually or you can run the generator. So we're gonna run the generator. I'm just gonna copy this, go back to our terminal. So Rails generate Paperclip. We're not gonna do user, we're doing it on the podcast. And instead of avatar, we are gonna do thumbnail. So I can open that up if I want. Let's do Sublime and file path. So what this is doing, it's doing a change table podcast. It's adding the attachment thumbnail. So that looks good. Let's do a rake db migrate. And then let's go back to the documentation. So now we need to add it to our form and our views. So let's first we need to add it to, since we did it to the podcast model, we need to go under views and devise registrations. So we'll do registrations edit. So let's add it above the description, or below the description. Let's change this to thumbnail. Instead of text area, this will be file underscore field. Save that. Now let's go to our account settings page. you can see the thumbnail. We now have a option for the thumbnail. We're going to do the same thing for the sign up page. So let's put it under the email. Let's go localhost and create a podcast. We now see the thumbnail, choose file option. Awesome. So again, remember we need to go to the application controller, and we have to permit the thumbnail fields for both sign up and account update. So we'll do thumbnail, and I'll copy that and do the same thing for the account update. Okay, so let's test it out. Let's choose a file. I'm going to go to my desktop and pick the Rocket Ship podcast cover image. And then I'm going to add my password and hit update. So it says we've been successfully updated, but we haven't gotten any errors, so that's great. Next thing is, let's go to the Explore page. What we want to do is on the podcast index page, instead of the narwhal's image, we want to add a image tag. So we'll do image underscore tag, and then we're going to do podcast.thumbnail.url, and we're going to grab the medium image. Now let's delete the narwhals. Go back and refresh. So now the image shows up perfectly. That is awesome. So I want to make sure the Narwhals podcast has one as well. I don't think I'm signed in, and not sure I can remember. I think the email was test@test.com. Let's try that. Oh, okay, that works. Awesome. So let's try and upload an image for the Narwhals podcast, and our password, update it. So now go back to the other one, refresh. Awesome. So now both have cover images. So the next thing we want to do is add cover images to the podcast episode. So basically we just need to repeat those same steps. Let's go to our model. So the podcast.rb, let's just copy this for now, and let's go to episode. And I'm not sure this needs to be the same, but I'm going to change it regardless, just in case. And I'm going to say episode thumbnail, just to differentiate it between the regular. So I'm going to save this as is. Then we need to run the migration. So I'm going to copy this again. So let's do Rails generate paperclip. Instead of user, we are going to do episode. Instead of avatar, we are going to do episode thumbnail. And then let's open that migration file up, Sublime path. So we're changing the episodes table, adding the attachment episode thumbnail. That looks good. So let's do another rake db migrate. And then let's add it to our views. So on the podcast show page, we loop through and show all of the images for each episode. First, let's go to our dashboard. Let's edit this first one. We need to add it to our edit form. So let's do that first. So under episodes form, let's see, under the description, let's just add it here, and I'll say episode underscore thumbnail. And then instead of text area, this will be file field. Save that, refresh. Awesome. We need to make sure this is permitted in the episode controller. So let's go to episodes controller and params.require episode. And then we're going to permit the episode thumbnail. All right, and let's test it out. So I'm going to grab an image from desktop. This is one of the ones that we were using in our static design. So I'm going to keep it as is. Let's upload. All right, so it says it was successfully updated. So let's see if it works. Let's go to the episode show page. So up top, right here, we can use at episode thumbnail URL, and let's grab the medium, and we'll add a class of current episode thumbnail, and delete the static image. Refresh. Syntax error. Okay, let's see what we did. Let's look at the index page. Oh, duh. Okay. We need this to be an image tag. All right, so this is working. Let's go to the podcast page, and actually let's go ahead and add episode thumbnails to each of them. So let's go to our dashboard. First, let's loop through. Let's just copy that. Let's go to podcast dashboard. Let's remove the class, and then remove that, refresh. So this should be just episode. There we go. Now let's add episode cover images for both of those. So let's choose a file, update. Awesome. Let's go to the dashboard. Update that. Beautiful. Let's go and fix it in the podcast show page. So episode show page. Let's copy what we have from the dashboard, go to the episode show, paste that in. Boom. That is working. It's looking great. Let's go to the podcast. Let's fix it here. So the podcast show. And let's paste that in here. Refresh. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go to the Explorer. Narwhals doesn't have any. So this is looking great, guys. I am stoked. So from here, let's do a get status. We've done quite a lot. We'll do get. Well, first off, let's do sublime.getIgnore. So the reason I opened up the .getIgnore file, what that is even is it pretty much says what we want to ignore in our Git tracking. So let me show you. Right now, the public system is where all the images are being uploaded. So if we go to public system episodes, episode thumbnail 000000001, there's images for each of these. So I'm just going to add this to public / public / system to the .getIgnore. And if I do another get s, you can see that disappeared. So I'm going to add everything, get s, get commit with the message, add paperclip image uploading to podcasts and episodes. Now we're going to do a get push Heroku master. So let's do a Heroku run rake db :migrate to migrate our database. Since we changed it locally, we need to match what is on Heroku. Okay, now let's go to the Heroku app. Let's refresh. So now if we do a new episode, we'll have an option for the episode. Let's try edit. Let me try to upload an image. So as you can see, it's working on Heroku as well. But the thing is, if you inspect the element, it's going to the system/episode thumbnail, and Heroku does not play nice with these. So by default, if we come back to this like a little bit later, I'm not sure exactly how long, maybe 20 minutes, an hour or so. If we come back to it, the image link will be broken. So in order to fix that, we are going to set up Amazon S3 and upload images to Amazon S3, and then we're going to link to the S3 bucket instead of local. And we will do that in the next episode.